Hello everyone, welcome back to another PHP tutorial. In today's video, we are going to see what is the use of namespacing. So let's begin. I am going to um, create a simple PHP script. Now, before doing that, I'm going to create a few classes which I'm going to use to demonstrate to you what is the use of namespacing. Okay, so now what is basically namespacing is, many times when we design our decide our class names, it may collide with some class names which are already present. So in that case, it your code will give you errors. Okay, so like for example, let's suppose you have a class called validator, and you have created a class called validator, and later on in the future you try to install another package which is also called validator. Okay, or your teammate names another package called validator. Okay, so now these two packages will collide, and they will, because they both have the same name, so they will try to create a problem for the execution of your code. So in that cases, wherever you want separation, you use the namespacing. Okay, another advantage is it also helps in the PSR-4 standard of autoloading in Composer. So that also we will see in this video. Okay, so let's first begin with one simple use case. So let's call our folder. Okay, so Acme. So this is just a folder where all our classes are going to be there. Okay, so let's create another folder inside it, and let's call it let's say we want to make a class. Okay, so we will make a class for fruits or fruit. Okay, so that is a folder called fruit, and inside that I'm going to create a class called orange. Okay, so orange dot php. So now I have this class. Let me quickly write some code and create a simple class. Let's say class orange, and inside that I will make a protected property called name, and let's give a name orange. Okay, and we will have another function which is a public function, which is going to say get name, and we are just going to echo $this name. Okay, so because this is a protected, so I cannot directly access the name variable from the object, so I'm creating a function called get name, which has a single job of printing the name of the fruit. Okay, so this is a very basic dummy class that I've created. Okay, so let's see how to call this class. Okay, so for that, first of all, I would have to require this particular class. Okay, so I will do require once, and I will say acme fruit, and inside that orange.php. So I've included this. Now what I can do is I can just say O is new orange, and I can say O get name. That's it. Okay, let's try to run it and see if it works. And it works, right? So that is simple. So till here everything is okay, there is no issues. Now let's go back to our Acme folder, and let's create another folder called color. Okay, so now when you see color, and I want to create a class called orange dot php. Now here I will take this and paste. Now here again the class name is the same, orange, but this time it is a color, right? So I will say name, and instead of so I will say orange fruit, and here I will say orange color. Okay, so this particular class is mainly for it's of type color, let's suppose, and this is for fruit. Okay, so both of them have the same class name. So now if I want to create both the objects, so for both the classes, let's see how to do that. So I will duplicate the require statement, and instead of fruit I will require color. Okay, so I have required that particular class. So now if I now try to do this, okay, so if I now try to create an object of type orange, or if I create an object of class orange, then right now there are two classes that are there, both are having the name orange. Okay, so one is a fruit and one is a color. So now when I do this, what is the which type of a object will it create? So let us see what will happen. So when I run this, you can see you cannot declare class orange again because that particular name is already in use. Okay, so that means this will start becoming a problem once you have this kind of a thing going on. Okay, so if you have a same class name, then there comes the problem. Okay, so similar thing can happen with functions also, right? So now how to handle this kind of a situation? So that is where we will start using namespacing. Okay, so let's see how to handle this. Okay, so we will come over here in this particular color. Okay, so the class of type color, here I would say namespace, and I will start with Acme, and color. Oh, sorry, I used the wrong slash. Okay, so I will say Acme color over here. So you can see the namespace for the color one is Acme color, and for the second one, that is a fruit one, I'm going to say Acme fruit. Okay, so one thing to note, the first line after the opening PHP tag should be always the namespace if you are going to use namespace. Okay, so I've done that in both the cases. So now when I come over here, now obviously I still have to include both the files because I'm not using Composer right now to autoload, but then that we will resolve in some time. But now what we can do is we can do something like use. Okay, and here I can say Acme, and I can say Acme color and orange. Okay, so this is one. So this I'm going to use as a color, and I'm going to take another, and I'm going to say fruit. Okay, fruit orange as. Okay, so now here I can use something called as. Okay, so I'm going to change the way this is going to be called. Okay, so I will say orange, let's say F for fruit. Okay, so I'm doing this. So now this particular orange will be called as orange only, so that will be orange class, and the fruit orange, now I'm calling it as orange F. So now I can have both the classes in the same file at the same time without any error. Okay, so let me show you. So now if I save it and run it, that should work. So now whatever the instance that I've created is orange color. Okay, now if I want to have the fruit, so I will just duplicate this and I will say orange F instead of orange. Okay, and then I will save it, and let's run this. You can see I get both of them. Okay, so orange color as well as orange fruit. That's simple. Okay, so this is the use of namespacing. So this is very important concept, because if you start using frameworks, then this will be very much there everywhere. Okay, so whenever you use any external package, you will have to use the namespacing. Okay, so now let's do one more thing. We have seen till here. Now let's use Composer to autoload the classes that we have done using without the Composer. So instead of doing such required statements, we will use Composer to autoload the classes. So let's see how to do that. So now in the last video we have seen the use cases of Composer for autoloading the classes, using class map, and today here we are going to see how to do the same thing but using PSR-4 standard. Okay, so let's see. If you want to know more about Composer, you can check my last video. So first of all, we have to take this particular project inside Composer. So for that, you just have to run Composer init, press enter, and it will provide you with some information. So you just keep entering, and the defaults are fine, and I will say no to these two, and that creates the basic configuration. Do yes to write it, and now you have created a composer.json file. Perfect. Now what you want to do, the next step is run composer install to create that autoload file. So you can see it created a vendor folder. Inside that you can see the autoload.php file. Perfect. So now I can do one thing. I don't want multiple requires. Instead of this, I will just remove everything from here, and I will say vendor autoload.php. That's it. Okay, so now what next is going to happen is I want to load these particular classes with the help of PSR standard, right? So for that, I will come over here and I will say autoload, and inside that I would say PSR4. Okay, and there now I can start adding my different PSR4 autoloads. So I have only one folder called Acme which I want to autoload. So I will just say Acme. Okay, Acme, and then you want to put the ending slash. Okay, but now because it's a key, it's a JSON file and it is a key, so the key doesn't accept the single slash, so you have to escape it. So now this is fine. Okay, so you can see what was the problem before. So there is it is giving me an error, so I can escape it, and now it works. Next I can add the mapping to this. Oh, sorry, I would add the mapping to this, and the mapping would be basically whenever what will be this namespace forwarding to. So it is basically going to Acme. Okay, so that is the location. So now I have completed this part. Now I have to do composer dump autoload. That should regenerate the cache, and now this should be available. Okay, so now if everything works, let's see if our file runs. If I run, you can see now everything works as normal, and the classes are getting loaded from the composer autoload. Okay, so this is how you can load your classes with the help of PSR4 standard. Okay, that is with the help of namespacing. So the only thing you have to take care is for every file that is inside the class, okay, whether it's a function or a class, you should have a full namespace. This the way you select the namespace is basically it is basically just a folder structure. Okay, so let me show you. So you can see it is basically this folder structure that I am writing over here. Okay, so it is Acme, and inside Acme I go to color. Okay, so that is what is written over here. Now just to see that this is capital A, that is because in the composer.json I have used capital A. Okay, so this is mapped to this folder. Okay, so that is done by Composer. Okay, so whenever I say Acme, it actually maps the small Acme folder, small case, to the bigger Acme folder. Now that is one thing to note, and the second thing to note is when I come over here, I can actually specify which class I want to import. So with the help of the use statements. Okay, so here you can see I had two classes with the same name, orange and orange. So I imported one with normal use statement, and at the same time I imported the second one and changed the name with the help of the as command, and I have changed the name of the class, okay, just for this file. Okay, so it is not getting changed in the actual, but just when I'm loading it over here, I'm renaming the class name to orange F. Okay, so that it doesn't collide with the orange color. Okay, so now the orange fruit has a different name and the orange color has a different name. So now I can use both of them at the same time. So I hope this part was clear, and the use case of namespace is clear from this example. So see you till the next video. Thank you.